My MIL made a family group chat without me called. The mistake my son married. I accidentally saw her message. Let's make her snap, so we can get rid of her for good. When I asked my husband, he said, don't overreact. They're just venting. I quietly took screenshots. And a week later, I uploaded something that went viral overnight. I didn't grow up with much. My mom worked 2 jobs, and my dad left when I was 9. I learned early how to take care of myself. I was always quiet, never the one who wanted to be the center of attention. I just wanted a calm life.
Love.
A partner who wouldn't leave. Someone who saw me. I thought I found that in Marcus. We met in our late 20s. He was stable. Kind, at first. I felt safe with him. He came from a big family, loud, opinionated, involved in everything, but he said I grounded him. He liked that I wasn't dramatic or flashy, that I kept things real. At the time, that felt like a compliment. We got married after 2 years. Small ceremony, nothing fancy. My mom cried during the vows. Marcus's family smiled through tight jaws. His mother, Denise, wore white. A full-length white dress with lace sleeves. She hugged me afterward and whispered, "Now you're really part of the family." I remember how cold her perfume smelled. Things didn't start badly. Not exactly. But looking back, it was like walking into a house where the floorboards were already rotting. You just don't notice until you fall through. Denise always found ways to make me feel small. You don't cook the way Marcus likes. You sure you want seconds? You'll want to be careful about letting your roots show like that. If I mentioned it to Marcus, he'd wave it off. That's just how she is. You're taking it too seriously. It didn't stop with her. His sisters, Carly and Rochelle, were like echoes of Denise. Just younger and meaner. They had their own little language. Always whispering, always laughing, always posting pictures with captions like, "Family brunch with the best." I wasn't in the pictures. I was never invited. The worst part was pretending it didn't hurt. I'd make excuses to myself. They just don't know me yet. It's probably a misunderstanding. I kept showing up. I brought birthday gifts. Helped clean up after dinners. I once drove 2 hours to help set up for Rochelle's engagement party and spent most of it alone in the kitchen while they laughed in the living room. Still, I didn't stop trying. The turning point was the group chat. One night, Marcus left his iPad in the kitchen. I was cooking. It lit up and I saw the name of the group chat first. The mistake my son married. I froze. I shouldn't have opened it, but I did. And once I saw what was inside, I couldn't stop. It was months of messages. Photos of me at family events with cruel captions. Complaints about how I didn't fit. Jokes about me being plain or dead weight. Carly once wrote, "Can you imagine the kids? God help us." Denise sent the worst message. "Let's make her snap, so we can get rid of her for good." That one stuck in my head like a splinter. They weren't just gossiping. They were plotting. Laughing about ways to isolate me. Making fun of my clothes, my job, my body. I sat down on the floor of the kitchen and scrolled until I couldn't anymore. I couldn't cry. I just felt numb. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, I asked Marcus. Quietly. No yelling. I just said I'd seen the group. That his mom said some things that scared me. His face changed for half a second. Then he shrugged. "They're just venting," he said. "Don't overreact." That was it. No apology. No defense. No anger for how they talked about his wife. Just, don't overreact. I knew then he'd picked a side, and it wasn't mine. That night, while he slept, I went back on the iPad. I took screenshots. All of it. Every cruel message. Every screenshot of my social media they made fun of. Every comment about how I wasn't good enough. I sent them to a folder in my private email. I didn't know why yet, but something in me needed proof. After that, I stopped fighting. I stopped trying to be liked. I smiled, I showed up when I had to, but I stayed quiet. I didn't chase anyone's approval. I made small talk at events. I handed Denise a birthday card. I acted like nothing had changed. Meanwhile, I was saving everything. 1 week later, I uploaded the screenshots. I blocked out names. No identifying details. Just the group name, the context, the messages. I didn't say who I was. I just wrote, "This is what happens when you marry into the wrong family and no one believes you." It wasn't revenge. Not yet. I didn't plan anything big. I just needed anyone to see it and say, "This is not okay." By the next morning, it had over 40,000 shares. People were talking about it like it was fiction. But it wasn't. It was just my life. Everything changed after that. And not all in ways I expected. I didn't have my name on it. No usernames, no family names, no photos of people's faces. Just the words. The messages. The cruelty in black and white. By the second day, it had over 100,000 views. Strangers were commenting things like, "This is abuse," and run. Some said it reminded them of their own in-laws. Some said I should divorce immediately. Others said it had to be fake. It wasn't fake. I kept quiet about it at home. Marcus didn't know. I didn't tell him. I was just waiting. Watching. Denise texted me on the third day, "Hope you're not too busy to bring that salad on Sunday." No mention of anything. No shift in tone. Like everything was normal. Sunday came. I brought the salad. We were at her house, same as always. Her kitchen smelled like bleach and cinnamon. Carly and Rochelle were already there, wearing matching sweaters like they always did when they wanted to act like twins. They looked nervous. Just a little. Denise was more tense than usual, but she still smiled that tight smile. Said, "You look rested." It was a test. She was trying to see if I knew. I just smiled and said, "I am." And then I sat down at the table and listened to them talk like nothing had happened. That night, I checked Marcus's iPad again. I had to know. The group chat was still there. But now it was renamed. The Crisis. The messages were frantic. Screenshots of my post. Someone must have recognized the writing. Or maybe they were just paranoid. Rochelle said. She posted it. "It's her. I know it." Carly said, "We'll be ruined if she takes this further." Denise wrote, "We say nothing. If she wants a war, we'll give her one quietly." I stared at that message for a long time. Quietly. That word again. The next week, small things started happening. My work laptop disappeared from my car. No broken window. Just gone. A few days later, someone filed a fake HR complaint against me at work, saying I was creating a hostile environment. It didn't stick, but it rattled me. Then, someone mailed an anonymous envelope to my manager with printouts of my old college Facebook photos. Nothing horrible, just me at parties. But it was weird. Targeted. Mean. I told Marcus. I told him I thought it was his family. He just said, "You're getting paranoid. You've been acting different." I was. I was acting different. I was tired. I was angry. I was done pretending. Then came the pregnancy rumor. Rochelle posted a fake text conversation on her Instagram story. One where she pretended I told her I was pregnant but didn't want to keep it. She used a fake number and labeled it with my name. I only found out because a friend from high school saw it and sent it to me. I confronted Marcus again. I told him this was getting dangerous. He said, "Maybe you should apologize for whatever it is you did that set them off." That's when I knew something inside me had fully shut down. I didn't cry. I didn't even yell. I just felt cold. Heavy. Like a door had closed and locked from the inside. I stopped speaking to his family completely after that. No dinners. No versas. No pretending. I wasn't invited anymore anyway. They went back to excluding me like it was their job. I noticed Marcus pulling away too. Coming home later. Watching me in this distant way, like I was a problem he didn't know how to solve. And then I found out about the burner phone. I only saw it because his real phone rang and he grabbed the wrong one from his coat. It looked new. No scratches. I asked what it was. He said it was for work. He doesn't work in a job that needs a second phone. Later that night, after he showered, I checked it. No passcode. Inside were texts between him and Carly. And Denise. and Rochelle. On the burner phone. They weren't just venting. They were planning. I saw one message from Denise that said, she needs to feel completely alone. That's when she'll either leave or break. Another from Marcus. I'm trying.
She's not snapping.
She's just silent. That's when my hands started shaking. They were working together. All of them. My husband too. I backed up the messages. Every single one. Screenshots.
Video.
I saved it all in 3 places. Cloud, email, USB. I wasn't scared anymore. I was done being quiet. But I didn't speak yet. I waited. Because I wanted the next step to matter. And when it came, it was even bigger than I thought. A week after I found the burner phone, I got an email. It was from an address I didn't know. No subject line. Just one sentence in the body. You're not crazy. I saw everything too. There was a file attached. I opened it. It was a screen recording. A screen recording of the same group chat I had screenshots of, but from a different phone. It showed even older messages than the ones I had. Ones I never saw. Ones from way back, when Marcus and I first got engaged. There was one from Rochelle that said, should we tell her about the bet? And Denise replied, absolutely not. He doesn't even think she'll last 2 years. No need to ruin it early. My stomach turned. I didn't know what the bet was. But the tone was clear. I replied to the email. Who are you? A few hours later, I got a reply. It was from Carly's ex-husband, Jason. I'd met him once. He was quiet. The kind of man who keeps his head down at family gatherings. He'd left Carly last year and moved across the country. He said he still had access to an old iCloud backup from when they shared a phone plan. He found the group chat months ago and kept the evidence, just in case. Said he almost deleted it, but something told him to hang on. He said he saw my post. Knew it was about their family. He recognized their words. I asked him about the bet. He said Marcus had made a bet with Carly and Rochelle when we got engaged. That I'd leave or be broken within 2 years.
It started as a joke, he said.
But Denise took it further. She told Marcus it was a test of strength. That if I really loved him, I'd prove it by lasting. I couldn't breathe when I read that.
I wasn't just disliked.
I wasn't just being bullied.
I was part of a game.
A cruel, private game. And Marcus played along. I sat on that for 2 days. Didn't eat much. Didn't talk to anyone. I went to work. I came home. I looked at him and saw a stranger. Not even a stranger. Worse than that. Someone who watched me cry and feel alone and never once stepped in. Someone who let his own mother tell him I was a mistake and still married me just to see if I could survive it. Then came another twist. At work, my manager called me into her office. She looked nervous. I thought it was about the fake HR complaint again. But she sat me down and said, someone's been trying to contact your company's board. Several times. About your personal life. I just stared at her. She said the emails were from an address under a fake name, but IT traced it back to a location, Marcus's sister Rochelle's house. She said she couldn't prove anything legal, but she wanted me to be aware. I felt heat behind my eyes. Not tears.
Rage.
They weren't just trying to humiliate me online. They were trying to ruin my income. My future. Later that night, I got a call from my mom. She sounded scared. She said someone sent her a package. Inside were photos of me. Old ones. From when I was in college. Some were private. Some I didn't even know still existed. There was no note. Just the photos, all printed out and scattered in a box. I drove to her house to see them. My hands shook the whole way. Inside the box was one more thing I hadn't expected. A photo of Marcus and me at our wedding. Someone had drawn a big red X over my face. My mom whispered, "What kind of people are they?" I didn't have an answer, but I knew what I had to do. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel scared. I felt steady. Something had changed in me. Whatever they wanted to break, they failed. I was still standing. I stopped waiting for a rescue. I started planning something of my own. I knew how to be quiet. I knew how to be careful. I knew how to let things build, slowly over time. Just like they did. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't throw things. I just went quiet. That's when people should worry. I spent the next few weeks putting everything in order. I wasn't planning a stunt. I wasn't interested in chaos. I wanted truth. I wanted it to be seen.
Felt.
Understood. I started with my job. I brought everything to HR, every message, every anonymous report, the tracking on the emails from Rochelle's address. I showed them how it connected to the viral post. They took it seriously. My manager apologized for not acting sooner. They put me on a short leave, fully paid, while they handled things. I used that time. I met with a lawyer. I showed him all the digital evidence, screenshots, videos, messages, even the group chat from Jason's phone backup. I showed him the package sent to my mom, the attempted sabotage at my job. I told him everything, step by step. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "This is harassment. You've got a case." I didn't want money. I didn't even want court, not yet. What I wanted was distance, safety, and truth on record. He helped me file a restraining order against Rochelle. We also filed cease and desist letters to Denise and Carly, and a legal notice to Marcus. Yes, Marcus too. I confronted him the same day he got the letter. He tried to act shocked. Asked why I was going this far. I showed him the screenshots from his burner phone. He went pale. That's when he admitted it. Not out loud. But in the way his face dropped, the way he looked at the floor, the way he didn't say a word to defend himself. Just silence. I packed my things that night. I left the house he inherited from his dad. It had never felt like home anyway. I stayed with a friend from work who offered her guest room. She gave me space. She didn't ask questions. That kindness undid me more than any cruelty ever had. I filed for divorce the next day. Marcus didn't fight it. He didn't even show up to our first mediation meeting. His lawyer said he respected my wishes. I think he just didn't want more of the truth coming out in public. But here's where it turned. Because of the viral post and the lawyer now attached to the case, a small local journalist picked up my story. She didn't know who I was, but someone shared it with her. She reached out through a burner email. I agreed to talk. We met in a coffee shop. I told her everything, but on one condition. No names.
Just the story.
Just the pattern of what happens when families isolate someone on purpose. The piece came out online. It was titled, "The Slow Death of a Marriage No One Wanted." It didn't go global, but it went deep. It struck a nerve. Thousands of women commented, saying this is my story too. One therapist emailed me privately and asked if she could use the piece in a support group. But someone else saw it too. Jason. He emailed me again. Said he showed the article to his lawyer. Turns out he was already in a custody dispute with Carly over their daughter. With the messages I gave him and the timing of everything, the judge ruled in his favor. He now has full custody, with Carly limited to supervised visits.
He thanked me.
But I didn't feel heroic. Just tired. Denise? She got hit hardest of all. Her reputation in their small social circle mattered a lot to her. Always at charity events, always hosting ladies' nights, and posting photos like she was some perfect matriarch. Well, someone linked the article to her real identity. Maybe Jason. Maybe one of her friends. Either way, it got around.
Quietly, but fast.
People stopped inviting her. Her church group asked her to step down from leadership. Her social media comments filled with passive-aggressive messages like, "Praying for you." She posted a photo a month later with a caption that said, "Sometimes people lie to destroy you, but God sees all." That post got maybe 5 likes. One of them was Carly. Marcus? He moved in with his mom. He tried to start dating again, but apparently word spread. A few women found my original post and figured out who he was. One even messaged me saying, "He said you were unstable." But the truth speaks for itself. I didn't reply. I didn't need to. As for me, I stayed quiet for a while. Therapy helped. Not fast, not dramatic. Just slowly learning to name what happened. Learning to stop blaming myself for not being stronger sooner. I got promoted at work. I moved into a small apartment with big windows. I started painting again, something I hadn't done since college. My life didn't explode into happiness. It just got calmer, lighter. I still get messages from strangers who read the post. Some of them want advice. Some just say, "Thank you for writing what I couldn't." There's one photo I keep tucked in a drawer. It's from our wedding, the original one before someone crossed out my face. I keep it not because I miss that life. I keep it because I survived it. And because now, when I look at it, I don't see a mistake. I see a woman they couldn't break.